There we go. Sorry about that. Yeah, OBS is being dumb again. So what's everybody up to? I do have a lot of background noise, and I didn't want to turn up my mic too much. Otherwise, you guys are going to hear a lot of the background noise. What's up, Kenneth? What's up, Pursuit of Code? Yeah, I'm going to reveal my secret weapon here in a little bit here, but not quite yet. No. I use both, but no, it's not my secret weapon. Yeah, I guess they're temporarily having some issues right now. It says temporarily unavailable for Fable 5. So, yeah, it's been. Fable 5 is really good, but it gets triggered really easy. It kind of reminds me of being back in 2020. You got to watch what you say around people, otherwise they get triggered too easy. That's Fable 5 all over again. You say the wrong word, and it's like, nope, I don't want. I don't want to hear this. Don't talk to me, and it drops you. So I've been kicking some butt here on the Plyrium Forge, but this is not my secret weapon for anybody who's just coming in. This is my own tool. I made this so much freaking faster, by the way, and how fast it loads up these terminals. Oh, it's so cool. Let's do a. Let's pick a DevOps. Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, it's looking so much better. And so smooth. I'm hoping to get this released out to you guys today. I'm going through fixing a lot of bugs right now. So on the agent activity, there's a couple things I want on here. Let me see here. Okay. This is not auto archiving like it should. It just keeps piling up. And the bottom part there, the filter where I can select the different filters, it's pure white and it's hard to see with this color thing. Yeah, when we get more people in here, I'm going to reveal my secret weapon. There's another one that has a bad color theme. When you're done with that, I got the browser here panel. It's not working correctly, and there's a React there. Take a look into that as well. And also, that's also has the white filter that needs to change its theme. the knowledge graph here needs to be adjusted as well. Look at this error and see if we can get the knowledge graph to load. All right, that'll keep you busy for a little bit. We got 6 people in here. I kind of wanted more than that before I reveal my secret weapon, but it's actually, yeah, so I use Ultra on their Ultra code. Well, there's no Ultra code on here, but for Claude, I do use Ultra code, and this resetted, like, I reset it at 2.5 hours, 3 hours ago, and it just, you know, it doesn't use very much at all. And I'm using the 4.8, so although, you know, I could do Fable, but. So this one's working on my secret weapon right now. It's actually doing some tests, make sure it's working end to end. So, sorry I haven't been on in a little bit. Dang it, fly. Haven't been on a little bit. I actually been really busy. So I do have a primary job, and we ended up getting a lot of projects that came in, and I had to get those knocked out. So my time is focused on that. So I haven't been able to get on for a while. But just to let you know, I'm going to be streaming this weekend, and hopefully starting back up next week every day. I kind of miss streaming. Well, not kind of, I really did. I really do miss streaming. All right, where else? So we got knowledge. So the domain and the knowledge graph is down. And the differential relay. So that's good. All right, so we're still working on that. I mean, look how much faster that loads. Hey, thank you, Kenneth. It's just so nice seeing this thing just pick right up and just scream. Absolutely love it. Feels so clean. Oops. Imagine coding like that. That would be awful. I don't know. I just like the panel like that. Yeah, they're just so. I did put a lot of work into this, and while I was not streaming, so I wanted to get this this new version out for you guys. I also been working on my own personal model here. This is my secret weapon. It's Gemma 4, 12 billion. No, I'm just kidding. No, this is not it. A pursuit of code. So this is, I actually built it. This is my agentic development environment. It's actually a tool to help you code a little bit more efficiently, and it has token efficiency built into it. So you can use this at a reduced usage. And so if I come in here and I choose, let's just say I want, this is my director. And the only person I manage and talk to is my director. And my director will manage his own team here. And so if I come in here and I choose, let's just say codecs here. So yes, we're going to switch. And now this is taking a little bit. This should not be taking this long. Yeah, non-responsive. What's going on here? Probably because I have all my usage ain't up there. Codecs. So, and each one of these guys has their own personal role. So like this is a coder, this is an architect, this is also an architect. I don't need two architects. Let's go ahead and choose a different role for him. I'm going to make him a researcher. So, but anyways, they work together to build any project that you're working on. And so if you have multiple coders in here, each one will work on their own piece of it. The director will facilitate that through. They're not walking on each other. Think of it like you know how like Codex or Claude, they can spin up sub-agents or do ultra code. Well, you could do that with this, but using these as your sub-agents. And it's a little bit more manageable. Oh, there's an update. We're going to skip that. We're going to wait till the next version. What makes it a researcher? The skills. It's all about the skills, the prompts that you give it. And if you are not familiar with how skills and prompting works, the way it works is so AI, especially these flagship AIs, they have knowledge to every domain out there, even what you're working on. The problem is they're not focused on the thing you need. They look at too broad of an area. So when you inject a skill into them, which is just an MD file, I don't want to create it. What are you doing? Well, that should be opening up, not giving me this error. All right, but anyways, it's just a skill. It's a file with instructions in it. You're a researcher. This is your only role for this project. Blah 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 blah. And now, after that, it knows it. It thinks it's a researcher. You kind of pre-trained it temporarily in your context. So whenever he gets any instructions from the director, I need you to go research XYZ. He already has the knowledge and skills and the mentality to be that researcher to do the job. So that's how skills work. Yeah, it's prompt injection, correct. So yeah, we're still working on those issues. Yes, you could actually tell the director, I need you to spawn 6 more agents, and you decide what you want the roles to be. Yeah, I could do that. I could even tell the director, you know what? I'm going to have you create your own team based on my project here, and you go ahead and spawn in what you think you're going to need for this project. It'll actually do that. It has the tools and abilities to do that within the agent or within the tool. So that's it right there if you're interested in it. No, actually, it hardly takes any tokens at all. So, I mean, I'm running, I usually run around 7 agents. So I have 6 on the side as my team, and then my director. That's 7 agents. And they will all be running almost nonstop until the project's done, and I'll constantly be working with them. And my viewers here will contest to using the tool, the ones that actually use it. It really does save your tokens. So if I run 7 actual clees, like hang on here, let me bring up another terminal here. So if I run 7 of these and do work with all these, it's going to eat up my tokens because this is the raw version of the CLI. What my tool does, it still spawns their CLI, but my tools, there's tools that are built in that'll strip out useless tokens that's not needed before it gets sent to the server. And the best analogy I can explain how that works is, let's just say I have a sheet of paper and it's blank. But the entire sheet is my context. That's my context length. And when I say hello, I write on the very top, hello, and I take that sheet and I hand it over to Claude, to the CLI here. And then Claude, the CLI, will start writing their tools, their logs in there, and then that gets sent to the server. And now the server gets it, and then they go ahead and write down their little logs in there. And then they're going to send it to their AI, and their AI is going to respond and add, hey, how can I help you, onto it. And now when it gets sent back, now there's more tool calls and everything else being added to that. And when it gets back to my CLI here, a little bit more tool calls, and then it'll come and it'll actually show here, hey, how are you doing? Or how can I help you, right? My sheet, for me just saying hello, started filling up that context window. And we'll keep going back and forth with the same sheet. We're not erasing anything. We just have the same sheet. We just keep adding to it. We never erase from it. And we keep sending it back and forth until that sheet's completely full. So let's just say that sheet can only hold 1 million contexts. That's it, 1 million tokens. And the moment that sheet's full, what we do, we write down the summary of the entire context, crumple it up, throw it away. We get a new sheet and put the summary on top there. There's our start. Now we have a brand new compacted context window. And that keeps going back and forth. What my tool does is it'll go in there, it'll take that sheet and it'll look for those tokens that's not needed, and it'll strip those out, and it'll shrink that, it'll open it up for more space, and then it'll send it. So I'm using less context, less tokens being sent, if that makes sense. All right, so I think we have enough people in here. So I'm going to tell you what my secret weapon is. I'm going to share it to you here. I'm actually in the middle of building it. It is not 100% done, but this is it right here. I don't have a name for it yet. And so he's just on talk. Just going to say hello. And I'll show you the back end of this and how this all works. And right now, I'm only using Minimax currently. And I'll explain all that here in just a minute. This is still kind of buggy. It's not 100% done. Here, I'll just talk to it. What are you currently working on right now? So the way this works is, let me see here. So I'm not looking to compete with, of course, the frontier models out there. However, I built a model. It's an agentic model, so there's many models built under the hood, a whole bunch of models that are built under the hood. And they work together, and they're all part of a brain here. So if I come over to here, this is actually my model, this whole thing here. And we could break this apart and see exactly what each model is doing, what their job, what their role. And each one of these has their own subset of models built into it. But together, as a whole, the way this works is it's a unified single organism. And that is exactly how they work and they run together. So these are test runs that I've been doing. And I'm giving it complicated math problems that Minimax cannot solve alone as a raw model. This is just an example, and I'm doing a bunch of different smoke tests here. And later on today, I'm going to do the SWE test on it. And then I'm going to wire in Claude or GPT in here, and I want to see if I can beat what Fable's doing, what they're benchmarking at. And the reason why I think they can, if you actually look at Microsoft's M-Dash here, if you're familiar with that, they have a model that's a multi-model agent right here. That's all it is. It's just a multi-model agent. So their model has a bunch of models built into it. And what they scored on the cybersecurity test here beat the full Mythos preview, which is better than what Fable is right now. Their Mythos preview is like the raw form of Fable. We get a dumbed down, lobotomized version of Mythos that gets triggered real easy and goes hides. So, but anyways, this is the idea that I am actually building right now. Is exactly how this works. And if you come in here, there's several key things in here. I have different parts of the memory and how it learns. So even if I use Minimax, for example, it'll actually learn how to do something that it's never done before and that's not trained for. And it'll always remember how to do that. I know there's tools out there like Hermes and OpenClaw and all that does the same thing, but they don't work. They work as individual type models. This doesn't do that. This works as a group of models working as one. And in here, here's the different parts of the brain, what it's doing, and you can actually assign different models to each part and what they're doing here. They actually, it's learning really well, and I'll show you like the complicated problem here. And I need to add distillation to the prompt here, but the problem that I gave it was there's a certain math equation that he has to try solving in, which this is no small model can do this. It's just a real complicated math problem for small models to do it. And it took him a while, but after learning, and this isn't writing code, he was prompt not to write any code, and I could verify that. He actually had to figure this out on his own, but he was able to learn how to do the math, and he taught himself how to do it, and it actually did it, and there's the final answer. And this is actually the correct answer for this. Minimax cannot solve this problem by itself. However, I took Minimax and it learned how to solve that problem by itself. So if I take this and bump it up to, let's just say, Codex GPT 5.5, and I even add Claude in there, it doesn't even have to be Fable. But the mixture of the models, this becomes your single model. This one right here is your single model. But behind the hood, it's a bunch of different models. And you could actually turn how much thinking you want and how thorough it'll go through any problems it does. It could do coding. It does everything. And this has been real impressive so far. So this is my secret weapon. So you want me to run a task in Plyrium Forge and then in Codex and or Claude code, so you can see the token? Yeah, I could do that. Is it strong? Yes, this is super strong. I took Minimax and it's a super Minimax right now. It's actually really good. It's a barcode. I've been doing good. All right, so someone wants me to take, let me see, make sure I'm not overstepping here. Someone wants me to take Plyrium Forge here and do some coding. I've been doing good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new project here, and let's call this test tokens. And then inside here, Plyrium Forge, PF, and we're going to select that. And then let's create a team here. Do a custom team, and let's do Claude, because that's what you're asking for. And let's just do 3. What's up, Kurov? Are you serious? This is not supposed to, okay. Whew. I'm like, really? Come on. All right. This done. And the model that we're going to be using is we're not going to use Sonnet. I'm going to use default. Yes. Make sure they're all like that. We want a good, fair test here. Default. All right, and let me go ahead, open this up. I'm afraid that they're going to close it because they're trying to build on it. All right. Want to make sure this is empty. All right. I want you to build me a simple website of a bio of, let's say, for Fable 5, the newest version of Claude that just came out. And this is going to be a fan website for Fable. So go ahead and get that started. And you don't create it, use your team to do it. All right, so let that jump in. And then while that's going on, let's do create a new folder. Raw Claude. And then, is there a way I can actually see how many tokens are used in the terminal? I never actually looked before. So if I make sure this is on the right model, it's on a default. Effort. So it's also an ultra code, which is, that's not fair. Let me, oh no, it's not. It was on high. So let me actually put him down to medium so he uses less tokens. And I'll have to see what these guys are. Let's do here. Effort. So they're on high, and that's what they should be on. So they're going to be high, and this one's going to be medium. But how do I see how many tokens I used? Is it stat? Status? Yeah, I can scroll up and down on my terminal now. Yep, see? Is he doing things? You were supposed to broadcast it out to your team and let your team do that. Why are you doing the work? Freaking idiot. All right, so here's so far my tokens. So right now, I would have sent 80,000 just on just this one model. And I actually only sent 31,000. So I saved 35% there. But What I'm trying to figure out is if there is a way to see how much tokens I used in this. Is there a way inside this Claude CLI here to see how many tokens I used during this session? Let's find out. Yeah, inside Plyrium. Yeah, that's where I'm at here. I'm going up and down here. Do you see me scrolling with the mouse wheel here? That part's working. Yes. Oh, cost. Okay, that's what I was looking for. Usage cost. Current session, 4%. That don't tell me nothing. What's my total? Oh, here we go. No, this is for everything. I want to look at current, like how many tokens I used. So I guess this is it right here. Usage by model. Yeah, that's not it. Total cost. This is overall, though. I want to see what it, config status. Because if we're going to do a side-by-side comparison, I have to know yeah, I don't know if there's a way for me to track that. Status and usage? Yeah, that's where it was, but where is it at in here for just this one model here? This one right here. I want to see what the current usage is. For just this session, this model. Okay, I don't see a way in there. Can you tell me how many tokens I've already spent just for you currently? Let's see if he can tell me. If he can tell me, that would be good. Yeah, there's the generate token. That's what I was looking for. Where it'll show you how many tokens that particular prompt or whatever it cost. Oh, context? What? Here it is. I think that's what I was looking for. So 29,000. Okay. All right. I want you to build me a website, just a bio website, a fan website for Fable 5. The Claude's newest model came out, and make it really clean and good. But keep it simple. Just a single HTML site. So why is he not addressing his team? Do you not see your team? Did I break it? Yeah, you should be able to see his team. Yeah, same thing with the right side. I can scroll them too. See? They're all messed up right now, but yeah, here. Dang it. So he's writing it. So now I'm going to compare them now. So here is the Fable 5 fan website that the raw version made. Now let's look at the Oh, let's put them side by side here. Okay. So far, I'm liking the raw version so far than this one. I don't know what he's doing with his colors there. So the cards are, you know, identical. Fan fave. So it's close to 1-to-1. So with that said, and I had this one doing a little bit more work. So I sent 55,000 tokens total out of the 431,000 that it would have sent. This one sent, what was it? Context. So this one sent, for this particular site, 43,000 so far. So use 4% of the tokens. Now, to be fair, this one decided to do some tool calls and stuff. Plus, each one of these are, how come they're not working? Send a broadcast out to your team. I'm assuming that's where, oops. I'm assuming that's correct here for this particular thing. Let's see if it'll go up. So it's 43. Okay, go ahead and just do an audit on the website you just built. Let's see if that number goes up. Yeah, because you got a different version than I do, Barcode. I fixed that already on mine. I just haven't released the newest version yet. Okay, something broke here. Because it is not being sent. Can you send a broadcast to the director and tell him you're available? Yeah, the broadcasting is broken. Yeah, I actually redesigned the whole terminal system to make it a lot smoother and less janky. So, and I think that broke their tool calls, the link between them. And I don't think they could talk to each other right now. But yeah, this version's not out yet. I'm still working on it. So, and it's still building up here. See what we have here. So it did go up. Okay, that's interesting. I like that. And this is using medium. These ones are using high. It's actually good to know. So message tokens, skill tokens. So yeah, here's the total, like the system prompt, the tools, the skills, message, and the free space. Which the free space is the total, like 942,000 tokens are left free, not being spent. So my whole sheet of paper analogy I was talking about, this is your whole sheet of paper right here. And every time we go back and forth, it just keeps getting, you know, added to it. Yeah, they're not talking to each other. All right, yeah, it's bugged right now. That's okay. That's what we're working on here. Actually, can I edit this one? Also, I noticed when I'm running a team, they're not broadcasting to each other anymore. So the link between them broke, between the director and the team. There we go. So let that cook. Anyways, back to my project here. And this one is not, so I'm not going to sell this one. This one is going to be open source. I'm going to completely release this for free for everybody to use. Anybody can use it for however they, whatever they want. Right now, I have this this entire application in a Docker right now, and so you could put it on a Linux machine, a Mac machine. It's just a web server, and the whole application's there's a whole server behind it, and it's got different types of tools. We have like it uses it uses Graphify, Obsidian, and Honcho are the main backbones of this for their memory system. It does have a console that'll go through. So, like right now, I asked it what it was working on. It didn't really need anything from the council. Didn't need no council decisions. But things like this will need a council decision. In fact, here's the council right here. And they're talking. So you got a reasoner, memory, researcher, creative, and a critic. And then you have the inner monologue, which will take these, the council on open questions, and it'll create a note like if it'll pass or not. This one, they really didn't have much to say about that one. Right here. So it didn't produce anything useful. This just got a simple answer here. So, and the final answer was X, and that's all it asked for. But I am, it actually can code, develop, write me a Python algorithm that can calculate, I don't know, you pick a complicated math problem. I'm working on this right here. This is what I've been working on. This is my secret weapon. So it's an orchestrated group of AIs behind the scenes, and they work as one brain, right? They're a single brain. And so it's kind of like how Plyrium Forge, where you got the director and stuff. This is a little bit different than that. It's actually more inspired off of M-Dash. And theirs is a multi-model agentic security system, right? So they built a model that houses like over 200 something agents in there. And they're all smaller agents. And it was actually able to score on the leaderboard for the security, where Mythos scored an 83%. The M-Dash scored an 88%. And if you actually look at what models they used like GPT and some other ones. So here's their head-to-head comparison here. Yeah, CyberGym right here. It's a public benchmark. So it actually scored much higher than Mythos did. And Fable is actually less than Mythos right now. Fable is a lobotomized version of Mythos. So what I'm building is exactly what M-Dash is. But they are focused in one domain, which is security. Mine's going to be multi-domain. That's what the difference is going to be here. And you could actually set up your own agents, whatever agents you currently use. So that's what's great about this tool. You can swap in and out whatever agents you want. If you want the free ones, if you want a local one, if you want to use GPT, if you want to use Fable for the whole thing, you make Fable even better. You could do that. So here is the code that it's developed. It's really good. And if I come to runs here and look at this, so this one should have, it went through a decision tree here. And it has to go through certain parts of the brain to just think of you. Like, when you're sitting there thinking about a problem, you're pulling things from your memory, experience. You're having an inner monologue to understand that problem before you actually do it. And that's exactly how this works. I don't know if it came back or not. Let me check here. So if I change to Fable. I won't do run that on ultra mode. Hell no. Put on extra. All right. One thing I wanted to do. Give me a second here. There's two things I wanted it to do here. So that's the first. And this is the second. And let's see if this will run. So it is unavailable. Yeah, I guess they're down. I don't know. I haven't used them in a while. So this, I will use ultra code. And I'm on fast. And I want you to go. So take you and go. I bet there's probably not. I bet the opposite, actually. I bet a lot of people are getting pissed off because they can't do anything. Like me, like for instance, this my tool here that I'm building has built-in security. There's firewalls and things like that. So the brains cannot do harm. It cannot do any harm to your computer. It actually, I built a. There's a lot of security built into this behind the scenes. If I actually pull up, let me go here. Where is it? Oh, here, I'll just do this. Go. Well, where the heck is it? Well, the system flow will show it. Oh, I think I've just seen it there. The security? Yeah, security permission flow. So this should, for the flow for this, I actually have in fact, I'll show you this one too. So this is how it all flows inside of it. Yeah, and this is the brain workflow here. But there is a built-in cognitive firewall to keep it from, it has to have permission to do things, but not from you. There's a lot of checks and balances that it'll go through. So, and I think what they did with Fable, they kind of made it too stupid. But I was working with Fable, and I'm like, okay, I need to make sure this is working. The security part of my firewall is working here inside my model, so I'm trying to protect it. And it's like, oh no, I got triggered. You said a bad word, and I can't do it. It's pretty much what it told me. So yeah, Fable's been stupid. But I think a lot of people are complaining about it, so they're probably fixing it. Because honestly, this is their time to shine. Yeah, it does really good. I mean, it freaking has been all over the internet, and it's doing a lot better than people expected it to do, which is awesome. But at the same note, it's very limited on what it can do. It's like you have a Ferrari, but you can only drive it on 20 miles an hour on a dirt road. It limits you, which really sucks. And this is how the brain, how it thinks, the whole thought process. And each one of these is its own model, AI model, behind the scenes. And their decision gates. So, yeah, here's the security and tool permission here. That's what I was showing you a second ago. And so if it gets blocked, it has to go through an audit. And you know, why is it blocked? What are you trying to do? The user didn't give you permission to do this type thing, right? It actually knows this stuff on its own. So statement on the U.S. government directives to suspend access to Fable 5 and Bethel. Are you serious? That really happened? Let me see here. Where would I find that news at? Would it be X? Might be X here. No, no. Keep less relevant ads. Okay. So, Fable 5. This is probably what you're talking about. June 12th, that's today. Statement on the U.S. government directive to suspend access to Fable 5 and Mythos 5. The U.S. government, citing national security authorities, has issued an expert control directive to suspend all access to Fable 5 and Mythos 5 by any foreign national or nation, whether inside or outside the United States. Wow. And how was Anthropic supposed to know that? Including foreign national Anthropic employees. What? Wow. The net effect of this order is that we must abruptly disable Fable 5 and Mythos 5 for all our customers to ensure compliance. Access to all other Anthropic models will not be affected. Oh my gosh. Yeah, government control right there. That's like saying we have nukes, so you don't have to have them. We're going to keep you safe with, so we have our own nukes. Wow. Yep. Oh, that explains it. That's why Fable 5 is disabled right now. Holy crap. There you go. My model wins. I beat Fable 5. That's insane. No, Kenneth, we haven't been a free country in a long time. It's just it's a buzzword. They've been crapping on our Constitution for a very long time now. Yep. That's why I'm a big believer in less government control, or just less government. Because once you give them the power to do something, you'll never be able to take that power away. Doesn't matter what it is. That is the hardest thing to do. It's easy to give up something, but to take that right back is the hardest thing ever. So whatever rights you do have left, do not give them up. That's the whole idea. Don't give them up. Because the moment you do, you lose. Because it's so hard to get it back. Yep. So, yeah, that's crazy. I can't believe they did this though. Are they going to talk about, are they going to open it back up, or they should give me a full refund, because I actually left Anthropic and just stayed on Codex for a while until Fable came out. I'm like, okay, I'll just go and renew, so now I can't use it. I want my money back. The hell. Oh, and by the way, yeah, eat the rich. So you all heard about Elon Musk is now a trillionaire. He's the world's first trillionaire. It's so funny because they say he's the world's first trillionaire, but isn't there people over in Dubai that aren't, that hasn't reported their income? That's actually, I was told that some of them has been trillionaires for a long time now, especially the ones that I don't know what they're called. The main group of people over there who owns those big oil companies in like Dubai, like the whole Richie area. But I don't know. They reset all usage accounts or usage. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. That's to win my heart back. Did they really? Let's see here. Where is my usage? They literally just reset it, I guess. Wow. That's wild. They were so scared of Fable, which was so secure that you couldn't do anything anyways. Has become aware of a method of bypassing or jailbreaking Fable 5. So someone actually did that, huh? We received the directive from the government at 5:21 p.m. Eastern. The letter did not provide specific details of its national security concerns. Our understanding is that the government believes it has become aware of a method of bypassing or jailbreaking Fable 5. We reviewed a demonstration of this specific technique being used to identify a small number of previous known minor vulnerabilities. These vulnerabilities all appear relatively simple, and we have found that other publicly available models are able to discover them as well without requiring bypass. Holy crap. That's crazy. Wow. Okay. Yeah, I guess everyone's cut off. Hey, did you know this though? Check this out. So I actually discovered this today. So if I go in here and go to my usage here, I get a reset, one reset available. How does this work? Like, do you want to reset your usage? So I can continue working and until I eat up all my remains. And then like, let's just say like this doesn't reset, like my weekly is June 18th, right? And let's just say I burned my whole week today. Well, I got a reset available. Isn't that cool? I like how they did that. They gave it to you as a credit instead of just automatically resetting your thing. So Codex is already better than that than what freaking Claude's doing. They're like, no, we're just going to reset it. Like, what if I didn't want to use my reset right now? What if I want to use my reset later? Stupid. Because honestly, my Claude literally just reset it an hour ago anyways. So for them to do that again, I technically didn't get the reset for free. Yeah. So anyways, are you guys interested into what I'm building here? It's going to be free. I'm going to put it on GitHub. It's going to be available to anybody who wants to download it and use it. And I think this is going to be a tool that can beat some of the top models out there when it's done. Barcode, I've explained all this. Where the heck have you been? This is my secret weapon right here. So it's a, so you know how M dash, oh shit, yeah, yeah, impressive. Yeah, so it's just like how M dash works, but it's, you could run this on your machine or you can run it on your server. Um, you know, it's going to be, this is actually, I built it's one model. This is my model, but inside the model is a bunch of little models. So if I come over to my models here, and each one of these, and there's more that I'm going to be adding as well. And each one has their own roles and what they do. But each one of these are a piece of the brain. And the whole brain works together, like how your brain or my brain works. But in the chat here, it's like I'm talking to 21 different models and they're compiling all their thoughts together in one. And each one has a specialty. So, and you know, this is actually, and I could say, and if I approve or disapprove this, I could rerun it or see the run. And I can come over here to the live view and see, you know, it's already responded. So, but if I actually have it go through, you could actually watch it, what each part of it's doing during the thinking process. Have you tested and ran that script? Is there any issues or bugs with it? Let's find out. I'm curious. And you can see down here, it's the triage. So we're having a conversation. And I'm going to watch this live here to see exactly what's going to happen. So right now it's pending. And when it's done, it'll say running. And I track everything it's doing, the entire. So this is the whole inner brain part of it. And here is uh, like its vitals of how it's working, how many tokens it's using. I mean, it's got. I'm collecting. If there's any recent errors, and I even have a doctor, like an immune system built into it, that goes through, and if it detects an error, it'll actually go through and it'll repair itself. It already completed. So yeah, that was too fast. User's asking me to review the session. Yep, let me go through. Type handling. Means only requires time. Okay, but did you actually run it, or are you just guessing here? And I can actually change this. Let's go to high here. I want to see it actually run. Go through. It already responded. Holy crap. Yep, go ahead and run it. Hey, thanks, Motion. I wouldn't say I'm smart. I mean, I'm just an average guy like the rest of you guys. Anybody could have came up with this. I'm just doing something that, it's like, honestly, this is how these big AI companies do this, right? If you think you're just talking to one single model, you're not. The moment it leaves your CLI and it leaves your computer, your context to the model, and it goes into their servers, they actually have harness systems like this, and with a bunch of different models that are doing different tasks. How do you think Fable was able to go in and there's a model in there that'll take what you wrote and it'll go through it and scan to see if there's any keywords they don't like. They use models for different parts of their big model. It's just a bunch of small models. That's exactly how any of these big companies are doing it. I actually build exactly what they do here, just on a scale that you can run it on your own computer. You don't need no huge system, but I'm also not running these locally. I'm using their models to make mine better. So this will be like Perplexity. I'll have to look to see what Perplexity is. I've heard of it before. So all the models integrate for the use, but harness on the front end UI WORs. So kinda. So I'm trying to see how else I can explain this. Yeah, so it's actually code that's doing its thing now. Yeah, this is what I wanted to see. So this is actually a representation of the brain here, right? And it's got different regions, and you can see what's lit up right now. This is actually the brain thinking right now. What's executing, what's actually working, and here's the cortex. But these are the different regions and the different parts that are actually happening as it's going through. Yeah, okay, see, these are what's lit up here. And these are the different parts of the brain here. But each one of these is a subset of different models as well, of different AIs. So each one of these is there, but together as a whole, they're a single organism. So just like, you have different, in your brain, there's different parts in your brain that do different things. One is for memory, one is for anger and happiness, one is for your thoughts, one is for your nervous system. There's a lot of different parts happening in your brain, but they all happen simultaneously. That's exactly how this works. And then, yeah, so it's still running a code right now. So if I go to chat, I got to approve it. It's still going through, and yeah, that's why I was taking a little bit. So if I go to runs here, And I can see what, where they're at here. I can see I can track it here. I can see what the decision log looks like. So this is their brain thinking about it and how they're going to do it. What do you mean? Yeah, anybody can do this. Anybody can build this. I vibe coded this. And I can see what skills it didn't need, right? So, you know, and also check this out. Oh, I forgot to tell you about this. This thing creates its own skills. So when it learns something, it's like, oh, I'm gonna write a skill about that so I can actually use that later on and then prompt myself. So like here, it wrote this skill here. This is the entire skill, and here's the raw YAML file for it. So the brain here writes its own skills, and it'll inject himself with these skills. And there is a decision tree. So this skill was rejected by another part of its brain. It's like, no, that's a stupid idea. Why would I need this skill? So it just doesn't create a whole bunch of skills. It actually either gets rejected. You can even go through and reject them and delete them yourself if you don't like it. But like these two got rejected, that one got rejected. I didn't reject those. The brain itself rejected it. It's like, yeah, that's stupid. Like here's some cybersecurity stuff here that it created. So anytime it ever comes across something about DKIM and DMARC, it knows everything about it. And if you come into the memory here, the knowledge graph, and if I go to cybersecurity, it actually keeps track of you know, all the you know, everything it learned. This is not just a skill, it's a memory, and it compiles the memory, the context, and it'll extrapolate ideas. And here's the other thing, it'll dream and it'll consolidate what it learns. And like right now, if I wanted to run a dream, I could. You know, what's in progress, and these are dream, and it'll actually come up with brand new ideas that you know that you and I never thought about. This thing could actually learn and develop its own ideas based off its dreaming, and it's just, I don't know, it's just a cool system that I built here. And let me see here. These are what's part of the memory. This is the long-term memory, the store, and how long ago it created the memory. And I could come in and I could drill down and track down every part. So like this memory here, this is what the memory is. And I'm like, how did it learn this? And I can see, oh, it's born. That memory was created from this run here. So here's the run it did earlier, and it created a memory based off of this prompt here. And it's like, I should remember that, and it did. Now let's go back to the chat here, see what it did here. So I don't have the full picture. And this is still not 100% done. I'm only about 30% done right now. Can you give me a quick nudge, for example? I'm just wondering, did you ever run the tool? It looks like you did from the back end. Hey, Motion Harvest, you have a good one. Thanks for hanging out. So yeah, this is a bug, and I know for a fact it ran it because looking at, no, it didn't run it. Well, what the heck? So it just did research, but it did not, yeah, it did not execute the code. So why didn't it not do that? I need to triage this to find out what's going on here. Yeah. But anyways, this is, oh, plus you could have it where it'll, if you wanted to keep it on, like it'll actually continue and do its own thing, you could do that. Like I put on auto low, I want it to run for 8 hours or 5 hours or however many you want. And then right here, you could actually turn on safe mode while it's running. Well, yeah, you can't auto run it while it's on safe mode, but yeah, it still has safety built into it. Or you can run it overnight, and if you go to bed and you want it to run overnight, you could do that. And it'll go through and it'll create new ideas, generate them, or you could come in here and run it yourself. So I'm running it right now, and it's actually running behind the scenes. Now this should, yeah, this is a resource intensive to run this. I'm surprised this isn't jumping up. It did earlier. So what I'm going to do is, right now I have Minimax, which is the M3 Minimax that I'm going to go through, and I'm going to do the same benchmarks that Minimax has done. And then I'm going to see where I get on that benchmark. And then, because I'm treating this as a single model, it's just a multi-agent model is what it is. And then I'm going to do, I'm going to go through and do all the benchmarks that they do, and I'm going to compare them against the different models that's already out there. And then I'm going to change out Minimax as the model brain interface. That's what's great about this. You can swap models out if you want. I'm going to change it out for Codex, GPT-5.5 for the entire brain, and every part of its brain is going to be GPT-5.5. So I'm taking GPT-5.5 and I'm going to give it like it's going to be a superhero when it's done. And now I'm going to run the same test with all those, and I'm going to compare it to the original GPT-5.5 and see how much more or how much better it did in those tests. Yeah, it's a harness. It's definitely a harness. Just like I said, it's just like how Microsoft built theirs. That's why I keep bringing this up. And right here, agentic scanning harness. That's all this is. It's a multi-model agentic scanning harness. So that's what I built here. So I am not changing the models. I'm not changing their weight. So what they know, that's all they know. So Minimax M3, it's already been trained. It's got pre-trained data. I cannot make it any smarter or dumber than what it already is. What I'm doing is taking a bunch of models together and making a single organism out of it. Like if your body, you have cells in your body. A single cell can't do much by itself, but the entire collection of your entire body, all the cells together, that's what you are. So technically, you're a harness for all your cells in you. That's sort of like what I'm doing. I created a brain. And the brain itself is my harness, but inside the brain and we can break it apart. Each one of these is its own separate AI units, but altogether it's a brain. It's a single brain. That's how it works. Yep, that was the last action, was the respawn. So if I come to, yeah, here, that's part of the brain that's lit up here. So, but it's not 100% done. I'm still continuously working on this. And when I get it where, after I do the benchmarks and stuff, I'll go ahead and release it on GitHub. But this is my secret weapon. This is what I'm going to be working on. And I'll let you guys know when I'm done with it. And, oh, you could actually create goals here too. And it'll run until the goal is completed as well. If you want to do this like overnight or something. Or you could do it within the chat here too. And I do have, there's a lot of, like, here's your goals, your chat. You can tell it to think. It's got a bunch of different tools here. You could actually create like as many sessions as you want. You could run multiple sessions as well. And each session is its own unique. So I'm splitting the brain. So it's its own brain. Each session is its own brain. So like, can you do an online search for, and tell me what's going on with Fable 5, the latest news? about the government interaction. See what this does. And I just created, and I can swap between both of these. Each one of these is its own session. Can you actually go online to see if ChatGPT is going to be releasing their next model soon? You know, just do two different things here, and each one's going to be doing their own thing. This one, like the research part of his brain is actually kicking in right now. This one, the tool part of his brain, for some reason, I don't know why, he's doing something different. But you know, each one of these is a separate brain now, doing their own thing. And he's learning. He's actually learning something right now. So when you see this, he's actually creating a memory. He's figuring it out. This one's still just running a tool. That's funny. And you can actually watch them to see exactly what they're doing here, what each part. And it didn't need research. So this particular test, see what ChatGPT is doing. It didn't do no research. All it did was a tool, and what the tool was probably like a web search. Like, oh, let's go figure it out. And then it looked, okay, was that website safe? Yeah, okay. And now the critic is going to go in and validate, you know, like, hey, was everything you did good, or is it going to be a stupid answer? So it already answered. Here it is right here. This one's still going. Oh, this is almost done. So it actually went through and learned it, but it didn't run a tool. So I'm wondering how it actually, what it learned here. Research, learning, memory, executive. So I wonder what that answer is going to be. That's going to be way different. So, can I switch back now? There it goes. Yeah, I can't switch back now. Oh, okay. On the government interaction piece specifically, I have nothing solid to find. So it didn't even use its tools to look it up. Interesting. And this actually used its tools to look it up. So, yeah, there's definitely some fine tuning I got to do to get this working 100%. Fable 5 closed. What's your model, bro? Welcome. Yeah, I already beat up Fable 5. I made them close them down. No, actually, the government made them close it down here. I don't know if you're aware of that or not. Here's the Anthropic website here. So the U.S. government gave them directives to shut it down, and they had to. So, and that's what they did. They shut it down. Yeah. So, but anyways, what I'm building here is, if you're familiar with what Microsoft built here, this is called M-, and that's their code name for it. It's a model, it's a multi-agentic model that they built, and you can see that here, multi-model. It actually scored higher than what Mythos did on their model. And this is for their cybersecurity. So the way that this works, it's a harness for multiple models together, and it's like a collective of collective models that can actually figure things out. There's a governance built into it to actually produce higher and better results. So, and their model beat Mythos. So just to give you an idea, and you can see it here on this chart here. You scroll in. So yeah, their model here. Here's Mythos is scored one of the highest. Microsoft scored, flew past that. This is built off the idea of what M- does. So it's a multi-agent model, and inside of it is it's a brain. The entire thing's a brain, the whole thing. But inside of it, each piece is its own unique model, an AI model that runs. And if I come in here to models, you can see each one of these is a separate model. Right now, I'm just using Minimax. Let me scroll in here. So, and some of these don't need, like the tool builder. I'm only using M2 on those. This one's M2 for dreaming, but it's using it at high speed. So the critic is the M3. The embedding, I'm using my local model for it, which is, what's loaded right here. And it's actually doing some work right now, looks like. So that's my local model. So, and I could actually change what model I want for each one of these. And this is just Minimax that I'm running right now. I'm going to actually incorporate where I can actually run Claude in every single one of these, and then have a super Claude when I'm done, or a super Codex. And that'll be my ultimate agent when I'm finished here. And they're going to have all the tools and abilities. And the other thing, they can create their own skills. And they can actually reject their brain can reject skills. So part of their brain's like, hey, I got this good idea, but the other part of the brain's like, no, that's a stupid idea. Like this one right here, this one got rejected. And these are skills that they will be able to use. And then after they get stale or not being used for a long time, because it's all being tracked, it'll actually figure out, do we really need to keep that skill or get rid of it? That way it doesn't keep clutter. And each one of these skills are based on, you could delete or reject it yourself, but these are all created either based on a memory or research or some type of interaction that it did. So here's test case examples. This is a skill that the brain itself created. I didn't create this. And it'll keep inside of its memory, there's multiple domains, and it'll keep track of everything it's doing. Like each one of these, and I can open up the memory record, and I can see where that memory is born at. So here, this is where that memory is born at, right here, and you can see it written to the memory here. I have a memory AI that manages that. And this is the memory AI right here. This part here, which is somewhere over here. This is too bright. The memory is, yeah, right down here. Yeah, it's at the bottom. That's right. So right down here is the memory. This little piece right here is the memory part of it. So, but anyways, yeah. So this is my super tool. What's up, hello, Sam? Yeah, I'm still making the agentic platform. I'm not done with that. That's still going. In fact, this guy's still building it. But I made it much faster, and it works really good now. And I'm going to be releasing another update here soon. There's a few things I got to fix in it that's broken. But one of the main things was speeding it up, and there's some scrolling issues. So if I come here, open this up, it loads so much faster. Oops. New. This one. Here we go. See, I can scroll in here now. And it retains your memory. Look, I load this up, and this is from earlier. I close this out. It'll maintain its memory. So if you're in the middle of a project and you have to stop or close this, and you come back and open it up, it'll continue to keep its content or context. So you don't have to reprompt it or anything. Yeah, I did. Let me pull that up here. I'll show you how much revenue I made. Let me find it here. So my total AR right now, this is how much I'm making for a total year. This is how much I'm making a month right here. This is the total AR. So, and this is based on subscription. This is not based on sales. Like I have my other tool that, which is right here. So anybody who purchases this, for instance, doesn't get tracked as part of my subscription. It's a different sale. So that's why the gross is a little higher than what the MRR is. But yeah. making a little bit of cash. Oh, that's the other thing. Speaking of money, my agentic tool here is not going to cost you guys anything. It's going to be open source on GitHub. So, and I want to release this to the world after I'm done with it. Because I don't like the idea of the government doing crap like this. So I'm going to open source this, and you guys can put your own models in there and make it as smart as you want, based on its own memory. So whatever you're training it, whatever your projects are, whatever you want it to learn, it'll learn it, and they can do it. So, and that's the whole point of this. Government can't shut this down. This is going to be open source. So anyways, I am going to let you guys go. I just wanted to share where I've been, what I've been doing, and my new tool that I built. So I will be on tomorrow, streaming. The reason why I didn't do it this whole week is because my current job that I work at, I had a lot of projects for the week, and there's a lot that kept me over, and I just had to get it all done. So, but I think we're good now. I'm at a good state, and don't forget to like and subscribe if you guys haven't yet, and I appreciate all of you. You can reach me in my Discord. I'm always available. Ask me questions. I respond super fast. If you guys are interested or have any more questions about the tools I use, what I'm doing, what I'm building, feel free to ask. Go to my Discord, and I'll actually, when I get this more in a solid state, I'll release it to everyone in Discord to beta test it, to try it out if you guys are interested in it. This, for instance, mine is stored on a Docker. It's just like a service that runs. Very easy to install. Think of like Hermes and OpenClaw, but better, I think. So I'm biased though. It's my own opinion. But yeah, and I'm not done with this. I'm only about 30% done. There's so much more I want to do with this to make it even better. So anyways, I'll talk to you guys later. Oh, and one more thing. As soon as this is done, I am going to go ahead and get this updated and patched out to you guys. So, and I'm currently working on that as we speak. It's being worked on, and I've been working on it nonstop. Actually, I stripped out every part of the terminal of the current version you guys have now and redid it from the ground up, and that's why the communication is broken. That's the one piece I was missing. I wasn't happy with it. It was too slow, causing a bunch of issues. I didn't like how slow it was going, so I had to rebuild the entire terminal system. So, and that also took a while. But anyways, I will talk to you guys later. Appreciate every single one of you. First time watching, someone who made actual money. Otherwise, nowadays everyone's making new things. Yeah, I mean, I back up my tools. I really do, and I have good viewers. Everyone here is, I don't know, all you guys are just smart. You guys know what you're doing. So, I'm just not trying to sell you a product just to sell you a product. In fact, the only reason why I brought it up is because you guys were asking about it. The thing I want to show you is my tool here, which I'm not going to charge you for. It's going to be free. So, if anything, I'm horrible at marketing. Smart. Hey, Barcode, you are the genius of your pack there. I really know everyone who I talk to on here, all my viewers, I don't know, I've never had a bad conversation with any of you guys. Everyone is very insightful, very opinionated, and your critical criticisms that you guys throw at me, love it. Love it all. So I really appreciate all you guys. Anyways, you guys all have a wonderful evening or morning, wherever you are, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.